Hey everybody, how's it going? I came across this hashtag called #StopHateForProfit regarding Facebook and Instagram. It appears to me that people are protesting the fact that Facebook considers certain news sources authoritative when those news sources are news sources that they do not consider authoritative. That they have had white supremacists or white nationalists write for them in the past, and also that they will allow misleading ads to stay up and that they don't really police it very much. I find this interesting because the other side of the political spectrum dislikes Facebook and many social media companies for the exact opposite reason. They believe that everybody at these social media companies are very left-leaning, they have their thumb on the scale, promoting certain people while excluding or censoring others. Regardless of where you are on the ideological spectrum, it appears that many people have a reason to dislike Mark Zuckerberg and dislike Facebook in general. I personally don't like Facebook because I don't like the way that they handle user data. I think that Facebook tends to bring out the worst in humanity. Life was better for me before I knew what my postwoman thought on every single issue. But frankly, I think Mark Zuckerberg is kind of a prick. So I deleted my account a long time ago. I don't have a LinkedIn, I don't have a Facebook, I don't have an Instagram, I don't have a Twitter, and my life has actually been considerably more peaceful since leaving most of these social media platforms. However, I was still using Facebook for advertising. I spoke to my advertising person today, and I decided to stop using it. I really didn't like the fact that we were using it because I don't like Mark Zuckerberg. So I want to explain how it is that the people who are behind the #StopHateForProfit Facebook campaign can help businesses leave Facebook. So there's a large problem with advertising right now that it is very much so a duopoly. You have Google and you have Facebook. There's Bing, but who uses Bing? So it's mostly Google and Facebook. And the problem here is that as of recently, Google has completely blacklisted certain industries from being able to advertise on their platform, which is very surprising to me, given that everything I saw from the James Damore situation, it seemed like Google was a very woke company that had people working there that cared about social justice and all these types of things. And even if I am not in 100% agreement in how they handle everything, I figured that if they implemented a policy that allowed advertising of pills filled with chemicals that make your dick bigger that have a bunch of side effects, that they wouldn't be opposed to allowing me to advertise that I fix MacBook motherboards. But apparently that's what they did. About 2 years ago, they said, we are having difficulty telling what is legitimate and what is not. I'm sure they've read all the medical literature, by the way, and the side effects of those dick-enhancing pills, but I digress. They cannot tell what is legitimate, and as a result of that, they cannot allow people to advertise. They actually disapproved many of my ads, as I went over in an old video that you can see here, where I was advertising data recovery services. They said there was issues with trademark. There's no trademark in that advertisement. They can't tell whether or not I'm legitimate, in spite of the fact that I am the #1 search result on YouTube for MacBook Logic Board Repair. I am the #1 subscribed person on YouTube that has a channel doing MacBook Logic Board Repair. I am close to the #1 top-rated MacBook Logic Board Repair shop on Google Places. Again, another platform that is hosted by Google. I have a business license, I have good reviews, I've been in business for a long time, I demonstrate on their own platforms that I know what I'm doing. I'm able to monetize those videos so that those videos are able to pay me a couple of $1,000s every month in monetization and ad revenue, and I can link to my website in those videos. But if I wish to pay money out of pocket to advertise my services on Google's AdWords platform when they have normal human beings that can verify my existence, verify my reviews, verify my business license, I'm not able to because they cannot tell whether or not I'm legitimate. You know that's bullshit. The entire repair industry understands that Google's policy regarding advertising here is completely hypocritical, makes no sense, and is a lazy cop-out to avoid actually solving the problem. All of us can tell the difference between those bullshit, pretending to be Microsoft, pretending to be the IRS scammer ads, and a small business that provides good service that is actually trying to advertise on the platform. And in spite of that, we're not able to get access to this platform and able to advertise. This is where it presents a problem. So if businesses are asked to divest from other platforms, when we are dealing with a duopoly, there's really pretty much 2 platforms to do this advertising on, Facebook and Google, then we need an alternative. And the problem here is that the alternative is not allowing us to place those ads, which again, to me, is surprising, given the fact that Google, at the very least from what I was reading on, they seem to be a company that is very social justice oriented, that has a lot of people working there that care about these things. So It seems strange that the hill to die on would be, we don't want to let repair shops that save consumers money in a time of increasing income inequality. We want people to buy a new one rather than fix what they have and save the environment. We want people to buy a new one and ensure that Tim Cook can buy himself yet another Lambo rather than save money that they could put towards their mortgage or rent. Why? Why is this the hill that Google chooses to die on? I don't understand it. But here's what I'm going to ask all of you who are supporting this hashtag of Stop Hate for Profit. If you support this hashtag and you want Facebook to truly be divested from, can you put a little bit of pressure on Google so that companies like mine can advertise on Google? Because I've done what you asked. I've divested from Facebook. I didn't really like it much to begin with. I've disabled all advertising. There is $0 coming out of my bank account going to Facebook or Instagram or any Mark Zuckerberg owned company at this point in time. But I'd like to be able to advertise again. And the problem is that the only other competitor doesn't really seem to care. There's been a lot of people that have raised a stink about this. I raised a stink about this last year. Nobody really seemed to care. Maybe it'll get more attention now. Is there a way that you could help convince Google that not only is what they're doing unethical, but it's also not really good financial sense? If you have this large advertising budget that just came out of nowhere after all these companies leave Facebook, wouldn't it make sense if there was a way for them to spend it with Google? Wouldn't it make sense for Google from a financial point of view to take that money that used to go to Mark Zuckerberg and now allow it to go to Google? It's not something that I could do alone. And many of you may think this is strange. Louis, you have a YouTube account with over 1 million subscribers. What are you doing advertising on pay-per-click platforms? That's a great question. So I've been using this on and off since around 2013, stopped in 2015, started up again in 2020, since I have a new store, $7,000 additional in rent every month, and I want to make sure that I don't have some serious slumps or down periods. YouTube has brought a lot of attention to the business. However, people who search on Google, MacBook logic board repair, those are people that want to pay someone to fix the board. People who go to YouTube and search MacBook logic board repair, those are people that want to figure out how to do it themselves. And the people that search YouTube for MacBook board repair, they're going to find my video first because I'm at the top of the list, but they're going to try to fix their machine. They're either going to fix it successfully, in which case they don't need me, or they're going to completely and utterly destroy it, in which case they are sending me a device to fix that I have no way of making money off of because I can't fix it after you have butchered it. So while YouTube is a great way to increase awareness of the business, it's not increasing awareness to the specific clients that I need to attract in order to actually make my business profitable, which is why we use platforms like Google, Facebook, and so on and so forth. So I've done my part. I am no longer putting a dime into Facebook. I would like to be able to advertise on other platforms. If there's any way that you could help get the attention of Google and make them realize that the people who are pulling out of Facebook would like to be able to give their money to Google AdWords, but at this point in time are unable to, I would highly appreciate it. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. And Google, for fuck's sake, just take my money.